It's Let's Talk with Sandra A, and on this episode, we are faced with a question. Do you think men are stingy or mean, or rather it's something else? And on this auspicious event, or this auspicious sitting, I am humbled to have my very good friends, Mrs. Judith Lalonio and Mrs. Immaculate Balmoy. Most times we've heard about women complaining so much about men being stingy or mean. And so we want to understand, is it really true that they are really stingy or mean, or it's something else? So Judith, what is your take?
Yeah. Um, Thank you, Sandra. Maybe to answer your question, I can say I can't say yes or no because not every man is the same. Like my husband, I can't say my husband is stingy, and it depends. Actually, this is a question that it depends on the man, and also it depends on so many other factors apart from the man alone, even the woman who's expecting or thinking that the man is stingy. Like for example, you see, you can't think that someone is stingy if you are not expecting something out of him. Yeah? So meaning it has a great deal to do with what do you expect of your man. Yeah? So you might be expecting something out of the man, even the man doesn't know. And you still say you'll be saying this man is stingy, maybe he doesn't give me money for my hair, he doesn't do this. Yeah, yes. And it also has a part on how far, who is this person to you. It is important. Like this man you're talking about, is he your husband? Is he just a boyfriend you've got? Is he a fiancé? Who is he to you? Yeah. Now, if maybe let me say in the case a boyfriend, you should not expect too much out of a boyfriend because maybe okay. Also depends on how people take the boyfriends again. Yes, but to me, when you just maybe you've just met, you're just friends, not really into any relationship kind of thing. Whatever the person do to you, it's kind of just the offer that you have to greatly appreciate. Yeah. So if you go ahead to start to term this person stingy, meaning you were over expecting. Yeah. Then in the case of maybe in a relationship, like you've gone maybe beyond that, like you've introduced. Yes, you've introduced maybe this person home. In other, that's a fiancé to you now. Yes. You're expecting to marry. Now that upgrades the level altogether. It's a way now. Yes, there are certain things you would expect of a man to be or a husband to be, and in the same way there are things that this man also expects of you. Yeah. So it is about what do you expect of this person. But at the level when you've already become like fiancés, to me, that's a level where you're doing a lot of planning together. Yes. So as in, there is nothing that your fiancé or your husband should be spending his money on and you're not aware of if you do planning together. Yes. And in that way, you cannot call him stingy because you know all about his finances. You know that yes, this is what he earns, and out of this that he earns, this is what we are planning on the money. And he also knows that this is maybe what you earn if you're working, and out of this what you earn, you're planning for this and this and this and this together. Say you're planning for a traditional marriage. Yeah? You know that okay, this is what I have, and he declares that which he has, and you plan together that okay, how are we going to do this to make sure that this which we have is able to accomplish what we are planning for, right? So in that way, you cannot take that someone is stingy or someone is mean if you plan together and if your expectations are all clear and open to each other. So to me, and if you're married, that also applies in marriage. Yeah? Like if you're married already, you can't really say my husband is stingy unless there's certain things which are meaning that it is beyond just being stingy. Meaning there's certain things people don't do together. Meaning you don't plan together financially, whether long term or
short term.
Yes, meaning you're not planning things together. So in other words, you you're not in the know of what your husband does with his money.
So and he also doesn't know what to do with
yes,
your money.
and he doesn't know what to do with your money. So in that way, maybe for him, he expects that, oh, she earns, she should be able to use her money to do this and this and this. And for you, because of kept you, to be like, but he's also working. He should use his money maybe to buy for me, please, Dana. You see that?
Yeah.
So meaning, it still has to, the two of you have to be in the know of what you people want, and what you want to achieve, and how you're going to use your money, the two of you, to achieve those things, yes. Right? Yeah, so I think...
Thank you. Mrs. Balmont, what is your take on this topic?
Wow. Yeah. Basically, for me, it goes back to the one go over relationship. How did you start a relationship? Okay. Always, I'm thinking stingy and being mean, it's an issue of someone's heart, it's a personality problem. And the truth is, there are stingy men. And there are men who are not that. Yeah, but my take is, when you are dating, what have you put on table? Is it really you, or you are hiding something? Because I believe if a young girl is starting to date a guy, this guy is able to tell her, you know what, honey, I think if you ask for this pork today, I will not provide for it because I do not have it. Okay? The man now is setting his goals straight, and you're getting to know, okay, when he doesn't have, he tells me, I do not have. Okay? And you pick that. But also the men have brought us into this thing of selling our hands to certain things. Because he will always run out of his way to go and get whatever he cannot afford. But just because I asked him and he wants to win my heart, then he will go out of his way. For me, I believe that's not the right thing. So if from the beginning, I get to know, okay, my boyfriend, because yeah, things are changing. We are in a new generation. In my era, I think it would be so hard for me to really look at this man who has everything and I'm at peace with him. I would always have questions. I'm like, okay, how did he get his money? But today, girls, it's a different thing altogether, okay? So if from the word go you set your goal straight and you know what, this is what I have, this I do not have, and you also get to understand this man, okay? Because at the end of the day, if he says he doesn't have and you insist, then that means you are the wrong person for him. Okay? So as a Christian woman, I would really feel, yes, if we put things right from the word go, then I will have nothing to complain about, because from the beginning I knew, yes, if he doesn't have, he doesn't have. But if he has, he will always give. And you as a person also, how much effort are you putting in? Okay? How much effort are you putting in? Yeah, I have no problem with taking out my husband, okay, once in a while if I have it. I shouldn't expect from him all the time, okay? So that way, because at the end of the day, what if he also says I'm stingy? Because when I get it, I keep it to myself. Yes. I keep it to myself, I never share it. So it comes from you understanding yourselves from the word. Okay, then you will have nothing to complain about. If you take him as a stingy person, if even the little things he never used to provide back then when you're into now marriage, don't complain because you took him for who he was. So there is nothing to complain about.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we are coming to an agreement that indeed there are men who are stingy, and also indeed there are men who are givers. But now we want to concentrate. Maybe someone out there would also want to know what could be the main cause of this, I would say, this dilemma. Because indeed there are men who are stingy. But what do you think could be the reason why such men are stingy? Could the problem be as the women, or the problem is with them, or they do not know they are supposed to be playing a few this and that roles? I don't know, Mrs. Lanoyo.
Thank you so much. I think there are various reasons for maybe a man being mean or stingy. Like, I'll still go and start from the point of, it depends on what level of relationship you've gone into with this person. I'm still going to start from a point like maybe you're relating. You're just in courtship with this man, you're not yet married.
Yes.
So, as ladies, you need to understand you might be relating with a man, just like you you had maybe certain kind of things you wanted of your husband to be. There were
Yes.
certain, maybe you wanted a man who's like this, like this, like this, yeah? In the same way, even the man you're marrying, you should know that he had also set out like the kind of
The type of woman he
qualities,
wants,
yes, of the kind of woman that he wants to marry. So there is no man who is just going to get you, and yes, maybe he could have studied you, but because before the man comes to you, he must have at least had something that attracted or that
Yes.
draws him to you, yeah? So, but that is not enough. He would want to study more to find out, is this really the person you can propose to marry, yeah? So now, if in an early stage, yeah, you're just kind of becoming friends and close, you're already expecting too much from the man, I think the problem will also be with the woman. Yes. So, but now, what can make a man maybe still be stingy in like maybe early stage of the relationship? One, the man would want to understand what kind of woman is this. For example, the man would want to find out, is this woman going to be able to stand maybe in a time when I will not be happy? Yeah? Like maybe you want this, you want that, but he's like, I don't have it, it's not there. Yeah, I can't provide it at this time. Yeah, or maybe he has and he wants to pretend like he doesn't have, so that you would see your reaction. How is this woman going to react in a state where we don't have certain things? What is she going to say? What is she going to do? Yeah, because there are other ladies, much as we would say men are stingy, there are other ladies also who are, you go into a relationship because of certain things, because you want something out of the man. You're actually not into, relationship, or let me say marriage. Okay, relationship that leads to marriage or marriage. This is not just something you go into because you want something out of it. Actually, you go into marriage to give yourself. Yeah. So meaning apart from you like thinking of what am I going to get, what am I going to get from this. First of all, ask yourself, what are you going to give?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Bible says, I'm a Christian. The Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive. So much as you're going to expect something, also on your own, first find out, what am I giving into this relationship? You see that? Now, so there are men who would want to be stingy because they want to know what kind of woman do I have. And secondly, there are others who also, men study women. And they also want to know that certain women, if you're married, you will never develop. Because always they're into petty things which really don't matter, Like, take me out almost every weekend. You're being taken out. Maybe you're spending like 500,000 or more, yeah, on every outing event. You've not yet bought land for yourselves, you're renting. So the man might be thinking, if I'm to be doing all this, am I going to develop? Maybe in their homes, even the mother's house is leaking. I said, he has not done anything about it. So it can be like, I think this is not the right woman for me. This woman will just sway me down. Yes, so those are the things I can say.
Yeah, I'll add on what Judith has said. I believe if really you've understood the person you are living with now, in this context, it's marriage now, because that is the basis. You've understood the person you're living with, there is really no reason for someone being stingy. As in calling someone stingy. Because from the word go, you knew he provides. When he has, he gives. When he doesn't have, yes, life continues. Life continues.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if those days it was poke, there were no responsibilities, children were not in the picture, a lot of developments were not being looked at, but now a lot of responsibilities have come in. If he comes with a popcorn of 500, he's not a stingy man. Yes, he's not a stingy man. Eat it and appreciate. Yeah, so it goes back to knowing the person you're living. If you didn't know that person, then you will complain. But also, I believe parents have not done their role of grooming children. We are in an era where we get a lot of teachings from so many things. Now, if you do not come out to teach your child that, you know what, my son, giving is not optional.
It's a must.
It's a must. If he buys that popcorn of 500, he has given. But if a mother did not teach him that, I mean, this woman will not stop because he's a woman. Okay? Most times now, okay, we really have this mentality of women should be given, but why said men they ought to be given as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you do not teach your child that at the end of the day you need to appreciate someone for whatever they've done, for whatever they've done for you,
Even for the little
that popcorn of 500, that man is not stingy. So we need to teach our children. Okay, we need to groom them. We need to prepare them for that level. The time will come when yes, you do not have, but this man will go out of his way. He has worked the whole day. You know, stinginess. Someone will think, ha. He's eating this thing, but he didn't know how much I really spent on it. He didn't know how much I really had to forward. Okay? But if you have this heart, okay, I struggled for the money. But at the end of the day, I need to appreciate her. I need to appreciate him. He didn't want to know what I've really gone through. I do not have to complain before giving this person. The moment someone comes out to say, this person is stingy, that's when complaints come in. Okay? I would have done this rather than giving it to you. I would have done this money with this. Okay? You're always complaining for every small thing. So at the end of the day, if we teach our children well, okay, relationships, this is how marriage is, okay, you give wholeheartedly, it's inside out, then if it comes with love, no one will complain someone is stingy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me just add on something
Yes.
that she also said. That is like it's not only men who can be stingy. You see, in a relationship, or in a marriage, let me say, whether a relationship, when I say a relationship, I mean advanced ones, that is leading to marriage, yeah? So in a relationship, or in every relationship, every relationships are different. Your partner, or your fiancé, or your husband would be a totally different person from my husband.
Exactly.
So it is very important for you to study, understand this person. Yes, as he is, apart from taking out of the crowd of other men, yeah, and understand him
As an individual.
personally. Yes, and now when you get to understand him and you also understand you understand each other, as in you're going to make a better bonding. Yeah. Then another thing I want to say, that it's the kind of a mentality that people have, that they think it is only men who should provide or who should give, which is very wrong. For me personally, there are times I have bought just some suits that I found in town and they were nice. I go and hang them. Then when my husband comes, surprisingly, when he didn't now, just say, hey, sweetheart, I have something for you. And the person is like, wow. So I don't wait that, okay, he has to first do this, he has to do this, he has to be the one to do this, yeah? So even as ladies, depending on the capacity God has given you, whatever capacity that you have, you might find in other relationships, it's the woman who works and the man is not, really, it's not working. So what would you expect out of someone whom you're even earning more than him? You see that? Yeah. So many, those are things that we need to understand. It's not only that it's men who should give. If we go in the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, we read in the woman, yes, the virtuous woman of Proverbs 31. We will see so many things there that many women nowadays will not do. The Bible says she makes clothing.
She goes out of her way.
Yes, she makes clothing for the people in her house, to make the people in her house warm. That is one thing. She sees the land, she buys it. She plants in it vineyard. In other words, it means, now imagine how many ladies have bought land and it is on the land that they bought that they're staying with the husband. You will find it's very few, honestly.
Yeah.
So meaning, it should be a pleasure for you that, oh, at least I am one of those virtuous women of the Bible. Do something, go an extra mile. Don't wait that the man has to buy the land. He has to build for me, he has to take care of me just in the house.
Pay school fees.
Yes, do all those things. No. Yeah? If you have the money, go buy the land. Build the house if you have it. You see that? Like the Proverbs 31 woman, she would go out of her way. She was a go-getter. She would not wait for the man to do this. And the Bible says her husband is praised at the gates. You know? The husband was praised at the gates. Meaning, in other words, when he goes among his colleagues, they would really be like, wow, we respect you. Not even necessarily you have a good wife. Hey, you've achieved much. Hey, we see this, you do it. So meaning, in other words, When the woman buys the land, she has built to keep a house, she's clothing the people in her house. People might think it is the husband. So they are praising the husband, but for what the woman is the one who is doing, you see that? So meaning, you should make your husband be praised. Not only for something that, yes, he has really struggled for. That when he's receiving the praise, you'll be like, man, it wasn't easy. You see that? But let him also receive some praise that by feeling within himself that, oh God, if it was not for this woman, all this, I'm receiving all this praise, they're telling me this, that. He knows within himself that it is not he who just did it, it was the woman. You see that? So there is a kind of a different heart, a different gratefulness that will have for having you as a wife. Yeah? So meaning we shouldn't just put it that it is on the men. The men have to provide for their home, but depending on their capabilities and their capacity. But also biblically, like the Proverbs 31 woman, use it as a mirror for yourself as a woman. Where do you fit there? Is there anything that you've done in there? Eh? Yeah, that's what I can say.
Wow.
Thank you.
And I also think most times, like she said from the word go, the onset of the relationship that of course should lead to marriage. I think also something that is so important is I think it's important that both parties present what they have. Because I think it's a traditional thing that most times it is the man who has to present. But I think both the man and the woman, or the girl and the boy who intend to marry, should present their financial capacities.
Exactly.
So as you do that also, besides presenting your financial capacities, you're like, you know what, sweetie, this is what I have. Yes, this is what I have. It is one thing to set the financial capacities straight, but it's just another thing to set your financial priorities right.
True.
So you find sometimes I think in marriages, priorities are not understood clearly. You know, the man has perhaps his bigger picture of I have to build, I have to perhaps buy a car, I have to do this, and then you as a woman, in your mind you have a different plan. So I think it's also important that the two parties sit and agree on what comes first and what does not, because you will agree with me for people who have built, it's very expensive. So you see the man has to be injecting money, like for cases where the woman does not work. The man is injecting money, and then we still expect him to do the other things that he used to do. So I think it's also very important that in a relationship that is going to lead to a marriage, even to the counselors out there, the couple need to understand and set their priorities right. So that when they get married, it's not about, oh, he has stopped taking care of me. Oh, she has stopped doing this. Say he used to buy roses every day and she has stopped. You have to understand that I think priorities have changed as agreed upon. Yes. So the discussion is becoming actually hotter and sweeter. So looking at all these things now, what do you think would be the best piece of advice that you would give to a woman out there, to a girl out there?
Wow. As I said, to a young girl out there, you are already dating this boyfriend or I don't know, a man, a husband to be, and yeah, there are certain things that are not compromised in life. You're already dating this guy, and maybe, God forbid, you fall sick, and you know he can surely afford, but he cannot even say, this girl is dying in this house, can I take him
That
to
is
hospital?
it. There are men like that.
Drop that man. Just drop.
In fact, run for your dear life.
Run. Because there are certain things we never compromise about. So the way I said it starts from the word go. If you've not taken your time to really understand this person and you run into this relationship, you're like, okay, maybe there are certain things I need to pray. We start compromising. Before you realize you're in this relationship and yes, things are not going the way you expected. Maybe you thought he would change, but things are not happening. Then if you're already in now a marriage, you're already in a marriage, then I think because it's very hard to divorce, and before God is not right. So I would advise that woman there to go on her knees, because there's nothing much left. Go on your knees and believe God with faith for him to change, because you're already in it, and it's very hard to jump out. Believe God, but also let us learn to be financially independent as women.
Yes.
Yeah, go out of your way, because at the end of the day, when he brings and you bring, life will never be the same.
Let me just say something.
Yes,
Yes, the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path. So meaning it is possible to make your path successful. So trust in him, trust in God. Where you see like things are failing, you can trust in God. You can do some business. You can open some, even if selling in the market, Let me tell you, God can bless you even from where you don't expect. So if you give yourself to him, trusting in him, God is going to be able to help you. God can bless the work of your hand. Maybe if you know how to make hair, that people nowadays, you can, whether it's saloons, there are opportunities nowadays for businesses and for doing so many things that the ladies can do. But the thing is, avoid laziness. Get off this mentality that I just have to wait, the man has to, do all this. Yes, but if we have put those mentalities down, we rise up for ourselves, we do something, God is going to bless us and make us a blessing to our families. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So finally, now we've talked and talked. What do you have to tell a man out there in regards to this topic, Immaculate?
Thank you, Sandra. I think as men, they always tend to leave this prayer thing to women. We are already in a relationship, we are already in a marriage, things are not working out maybe as planned, but it will always be on a woman's shoulder to say, God, please, God, things can get better, God, things can work out. Yes, we've set our priorities, maybe the man is not coming, that's why maybe he's tending to withdraw certain responsibilities, to withdraw whatever he was doing then. And let's learn to trust God as a family. Men, let's learn to pray with our wives. Let us be a family thing. Let us unite. Let us fight together.
Wow. Yes, Judith. What do you tell the men out there who are listening to us?
Thank you so much. Like the Bible says that a man who loves his wife loves himself. So what I would tell every man out there, for they that are married, they're supposed to love their wives. So I would tell them, love your wives, and you know what loving the wives mean. The things that you'd expect, the Bible says, do unto others what you want them to do to you. So just put that, assuming you were in her shoes, how would you want you to be treated if you are her? So do that best to her. Yes. So I think in summary that's what I could say. And for they that are in relationships, it is a time to begin to train yourself a lot. Begin to train yourself to build up yourself to become a man, to become a husband. Know that sooner or later you're going to become somebody's husband. Maybe and afterwards they're going to start calling you daddy. Yeah. So meaning you need to train yourself to become a husband, to become a daddy, and all those requires a lot of build up. Yes.
Well, you just to add on that, there are some. It's I think common with women that always, if she wants something, maybe she'll not go out of her way to say, "Hey, honey, please, can I have this?" Always we think, I think if he knows me well, he will think for me. He will think for me.
He should be knowing.
Yes, he should be knowing, because at the end of the day, this is the person you dated those days. I do not have can I please have this? Or can you please do for me this? Because that's at the end of the day, that's when someone starts saying, he's stingy. But from the beginning, he knew, this woman never comes to ask whatever they need. So it's up to you to study which person you're living with. Get to know them. If she's that person, think for her. There is no problem. There's no sin in thinking for someone.
But it's also good to be communicative.
That one is there,
Yes.
is there, but also there are those moments, there are those
Mm.
moments, of course, maybe with maybe the situation surrounding
Uh-huh.
everything,
You can just communicate
Yeah,
without words.
yeah, there is that communication, but it's also a form of communication.
Yes.
Communication, you
Mm.
communicate without words.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Wow. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, we've come up to the end of our program on Let's Talk with Sandra A. It's been so good having you, Mrs. Judith Lanonio
Thank
Matwell,
you.
and it's really been good having you, Mrs. Immaculate Bamoy. Guys, I hope we all enjoyed, and this tea was so delicious. We are at
Yeah.
Brown Palace Hotel in Nakasero. Brown Palace, thanks for that tea. Thanks for
Appreciate.
hosting us, like for bridal showers, for conferences, for meetings, for birthday parties. Please come and check in Brown Palace Hotel in Nakasero. Till we meet again on the next episode, it's been Let's Talk with Sandra A. Good time.